Mr. Examiner, I'm going to perform an in-cab inspection. The first thing I'm going to start with is my air brake test. The first thing I have to do is perform a safe start. A safe start is my brakes are engaged, my truck is in neutral, and my wheels are chocked. I'm going to turn my key to the on position. I'm going to make sure that my ABS light comes on and goes off, and then I'm going to start the vehicle. I'm going to build my pressure up to 120, 125 or governor cutout. Mr. Examiner, my air pressure is built up to 120, 125 or governor cutout. Now I'm going to turn my key off, turn it back to the on position, and release both my brakes. Now I'm ready for stage one. Stage one is the applied pressure test. I'm going to press down and hold my service brake for 1 minute, and in that 1 minute,
I don't see any diesel exhaust fluid leaking from the cap or leaking underneath my vehicle. I'll continue down, just checking for overall general damage. I don't see any damage. That brings me back to my fuel tank. I'll check and make sure my fuel tank is properly mounted and secured. I'm going to make sure the cap is on it tight. I'll make sure that I'm not leaking any fuel from the cap or from the tank itself by checking all around and under my vehicle. I'm going to make sure I check my catwalk and my steps. The catwalk and the steps here, properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, they're not broken, they're not twisted, they're not missed. Me up whenever I try and get up on the catwalk or on the steps. I'm checking the frame of my entire tractor. I'll check it on every side, front and back, make sure it's not cracked, make sure it's not, no illegal welds, no holes. I don't have any debris. Front and back, make sure it's not cracked, make sure it's not, no illegal well. The frame of my entire tractor. I'll check it on every side, front and back, make sure it's not cracked, make sure it's not, no illegal.
plug into the street. After all, I'm gonna go over. To my boy's house and play some Smash. Okay, these lap ones have been actually incredible. That's another Chapter 9 PB. Holy shit.
Oh, he fucked up. I bet I could get to 130. But this is where he's actually
Mr. Examiner, I'm going to perform an in-cab inspection. The first thing I'm going to start with is my air brake test. The first thing I have to do is perform a safe start. A safe start is my brakes are engaged, my truck is in neutral, and my wheels are chocked. I'm going to turn my key to the on position. I'm going to make sure that my ABS light comes on and goes off, and then I'm going to start the vehicle. I'm going to build my pressure up to 120, 125 or governor cutout. Mr. Examiner, I'm going to perform an in-cab inspection. The first thing I'm going to start with is my air brake test. The first thing I have to do is perform a safe start. A safe start is my brakes are engaged, my truck is in neutral, and my wheels are chocked. I'm going to turn my key to the on position. I'm going to make sure that my ABS light comes on and goes off, and then I'm going to start the vehicle. I'm going to build my pressure up to 120, 125 or governor cutout. I'm going to build my pressure up to 120, 125 or governor cutout. Mr. Examiner, my air pressure is built up to 120, 125 or governor cutout. Now I'm going to turn my key off, turn it back to the on position, and release both my brakes. Now I'm ready for stage one. Stage one is the applied pressure test. I'm going to press down and hold my service brake for 1 minute, and in that 1 minute I should lose no more than 4 psi while listening for air leaks. My air is dropping. Now it's stabilized. Mr. Examiner, can you begin timing me for 1 minute? Mr. Examiner, I do not lose any more than 4 psi, and I do not hear any air leaks. Now I'm ready for stage two. Stage two is the warning light and buzzer test. I'm going to pump down on my service brake until my warning light and buzzer goes on at or before 60 psi. Mr. Examiner, both my warning light and buzzer came on at or before 60 psi. Now I'm ready for stage three. Stage three is the pump down test. I'm going to continue to pump down on my service brake until my tractor trailer protection valves pop out between 40 and 20 psi. Mr. Examiner, both my tractor and trailer protection valves popped out between 40 and 20 psi. Now I'm going to be in stage four. Stage four is the recovery stage. I'm going to perform another safe start and build my air pressure back up to 120, 125 governor cutout. Both my brakes are now engaged, my truck is in neutral, and my wheels are still chocked. As I'm building air, I'm going to verify that my warning light and buzzer goes off at 60 psi. Mr. Examiner, both my warning light and buzzer went off at 60 psi. Now I'm going to go remove my chalk blocks in preparation for the tug test. I'm going to continue to let the air build up to 120, 125 for governor cutout. My air is built up. Now I'm going to begin the tug test. The first thing I'm going to do is tug on the trailer brakes. So I'm going to keep my trailer brake set, release my tractor brakes, put it in drive, and test my trailer brakes. My trailer brakes hold. Now I'm going to test my tractor, so I'm going to set my tractor brakes, release my trailer brakes, and tug on the tractor. Next thing I'm going to do is test my service brake. So I'm going to release both my brakes. I'm going to accelerate to 5 miles an hour and step on the brake pedal. Release my hands from the wheel, and the vehicle should not pull left or right. Let's examine it. The truck should not pull left or right. I'm going to set my brakes, put it in neutral, and continue with the rest of my in-cab inspection. My seatbelt is properly mounted and secure. It's not worn, torn, ripped, or frayed. It latches and unlatches properly. My fire extinguisher is under the bunk. It's properly mounted and secure. It's fully charged. Also underneath the bunk, I have 3 red reflective triangles. In my glove compartment, I have spare electrical fuses. My mirrors and windshield are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked and broken. They're clean and clear. My mirrors are properly adjusted to me. My windshield wipers and blades are properly mounted and secure, not cracked and broken. The blades are not worn, torn, or dry rotted. They operate smoothly. And my windshield washer fluid operates. My gauges, my water temperature gauge is rising to normal operating range. My oil pressure gauge is rising to normal operating range. My air pressure gauges are rising to 120, 125 or governor cutout. My voltmeter is charging between 13 and 14 volts. My left turn signal indicator works. My right turn signal indicator works. My high beam indicator works. My 4-way flasher indicators work. City horn works. Air horn works. My defroster is working properly. And my heater is working properly. And that concludes the in-cab inspection.
So they have weight behind them. They're about 60 pounds of chain. All right? How many chains you gonna have? 4. So what's that, 60 times 40? Or 4? 240, right? That's 240 extra pounds that you gotta take account in on your tractor. All right? For those of you that are riding up west, northwest, a lot of those states require that chains be on your tractor, with somewhere on it, right? Not necessarily on the wheels, but on the tractor during certain months. All right, the reason I'm having you feel these is so that you know when you go to sling 4 of these on the tractor, it's an exhausting job. All right? When you go to put chains on, you're going to need the chain itself, bungee cords of some type, and the tool that tightens them up. Now, for shorter people, I also recommend a fifth wheel puller. All right? You reach in behind the tire instead of having to crawl underneath there. You don't have to have it, but it does help. You don't need one necessarily this long. When we chain up, we're never changing our steer tires. All right? Never change the steer tires. Because you see the housing around the wheel? If this chain breaks, it's going to tear up a lot more than just the chain. All right? It's going to tear up steering, suspension, steering linkage, and all that. So that's why we never change those. All right? With our chains, when you first get them, they're more likely going to be balled up in a big ball. You're going to have to find the ends and get them laid out. All right. If you notice on these chains, everywhere the cross chain connects, there's this big linkage, right? On that linkage, one side has teeth on it. We always want to put the side of the teeth on the outside of the tire wall. All right, just digging into a tire wall while you drive can cause your tires to blow while you got a chain on. So, when I do it and I lay them out, I'm gonna put those up top. Come on. All right. Now keep in mind where you guys are doing this, it's more likely going to be on the side of the interstate where they got a chain up area, right? More likely going to be a lot of snow on the ground. It's going to be wet. I recommend these coveralls like this. I also recommend a rubber floor mat that you find in the car, you know? You can throw that down, put your knees on that, don't get your knees wet. Kind of a couple ways to keep you dry. We got to change these. The trailer on. I put it out in front of where I want it with my spikes up. Grab a good little length of chain. There we go. All right. You want to try to get about as much slack on each side. All right. Center it as much on the tire as you can. And then I'm going to scoot this outer chain towards the top of my tire so I have more slack in the back. Now, on the back, you're going to have a female end like this and a male end, all right? When you go to hook that male end on, actually it's in the front now. Dang, it'll be all right. All right, when you go to hook this link, a lot of people say we're putting on the second one. They're going to take it and they're going to link it like that, where they've got that link in front of their hook. All right? It's going to cause a lot of issues when you get this tight. You got to readjust it because now you're fighting that hook to get it out of there, right? When you go to hook extra links on, push the spare links to the rear. Put your hook on. All right, now you're not fighting that in front of your hook. All right, so you're going to take this in, and you're going to get as tight as you can, usually about the third link.
What?
Between your tires, this is where I said you can use this hook. All right, because you got to get behind your tire now, all right? You can't drive forward through nothing. You reach behind there and grab your chain and pull it towards you instead of crawling around on the ground trying for your chain. All right. All right, now because all the slack is in the back, right? You hook back up. We're going to take the chain and pull that slack to the front.